Hello friends, welcome to Bajwa Immigration Consultants YouTube channel. In this video, we will talk about whether you should be doing professional year program or not. Number of students come to Australia on student visa with hope of getting PR of this country. But they are completely unaware of the reality they are going to face during this journey. Almost all the students who come to Australia to study either bachelor or master degree in IT, accounting or engineering, or some come for studying MBA. After completing these degrees, these students feel pretty disappointed when they can't see a pathway to PR. These young people come to Australia with a dream of a bright future. For that, they work hard. This is what their parents teach them, that if they work hard, they will get the result in the end. It is somewhat true, but with hard work, you need knowledge as well. So this video is dedicated to those students who complete IT, engineering or accounting degree, bachelor's or master's, have achieved 8 each in IELTS or PTE, cleared NATI test, and most of all have completed professional year program, but still could not get any closer to getting PR. In this video, we will explain to you logically with evidence that why these students could not succeed even after scoring very high points. So before you choose a course, you must know the following. Number 1. What occupation will come out of this course? How many students are doing a similar course? And how many seats are available in this occupation? And most importantly, you should know how will I get a positive skill assessment for this occupation? What are the requirements of assessment body to get this occupation assessed? So the basic requirements could be like the level of English, the qualification and the experience in that particular occupation. Any visa that you are going to lodge for permanent residency will require a positive skills assessment. So what are the most popular courses amongst international students? So these students come to study Master of IT, Bachelor of IT. They either come to study MBA, some come to study Master of Accounting or Bachelor of Accounting, and also Master of Engineering or Bachelor of Engineering. So why these courses are so popular amongst international students? Why do they come to do only these courses, not any other courses? So the reason is the GTE or SOP. So GTE is Genuine Temporary Entrant Criterion. So what is GTE? To satisfy the GTE criterion, the condition is that your past study should match your future study that you have chosen to do in Australia. So say for example, someone has completed year 12 in India. They will have to choose a bachelor level course, and the popular bachelor level courses are only IT, engineering and accounting that matches your background study that you have done in India or any other country. Similarly, if you have completed a bachelor degree, you will choose a master level course. Now in the next slide, you will see how many students do these popular courses every year in Australia. You will see why the points are so high in accounting, IT and engineering. We will be looking at the number of students doing these popular courses every year. So let's start with Master of Engineering. There is 239 courses running in Australia per year, and if there is 3 trimesters, and 50 students in each trimester, the total number of students who complete Masters of Engineering in 1 year would be around 35,000. Similarly, for Bachelor of Engineering, 152 courses are being run in Australia, 3 trimesters. On average, 50 students complete this study every trimester. The total number of students completing Bachelor of Engineering would be around 22,000 to 23,000. If you add up these numbers, it comes close to around 57,000 students completing engineering degree. And same is the case for Masters of Business Administration or Bachelor of Business Administration. You can see here total number of students completing these degrees every year. Masters of Accounting, 142 courses being run, 3 trimesters, 50 students on average, total 21,000 students completing every year the master degree in accounting. And similarly, bachelor degree is being completed by 14,000 students. So the total is somewhere around 35,000 students completing an accounting degree every year. If you consider Masters of IT, Bachelor of IT, here you can see around the same number of students completing IT degree per year. So now you must be wondering, where do these numbers come from? We have not made up those numbers. These numbers have come from this website, Cricos. Here you can find out how many courses in a particular field of study is being run in Australia. So what you need to do, you go to the course search, then you put in the type of course. So if I select master degree by coursework, here I will select accounting, and then I go start search. So you can see clearly 143 courses all over Australia, and this is what you can find in table if you want to match the data. So 143 courses are being run for accounting in master degree. Again, let's go back and let's search for bachelor level courses in accounting. So Bachelor of Accounting, have a look at this. 98 courses being run in Australia. Similarly, you can do search for the other courses like IT, engineering, and you can match the data in the tables that we gave you in the earlier slides. So you must ask this question to yourself: how will I fit in the PR criteria if there is thousands of students completing the similar courses every year in Australia? Let us now have a look at the occupation ceiling for subclass 189 and 491 visa by Department of Home Affairs. This is the data from last year, June 2020. So you can see that the accountants were allocated total number of seats 2,746, and out of 2,746, only 654 seats were actually allocated to the applicants. If we go further, auditors, company secretaries, the total number of seats that were kept aside was 1,552, but only actually 371 seats were given to the applicants. And same is the situation for the other popular courses. So have a look at this. Software and application programmers, the total seats that were available was 8,748, and how many were allocated? 1,926. On this side, the total number of points that we have collected from April and June 2020 data, accountants, the highest went to 100. And you can see for engineers, it went to 95 for subclass 189 and 95 for 491, which is the family-sponsored visa. Look at the points here for engineering professionals, 105, and here again 105. So why these points are so high? The reason is the number of seats allocated at the beginning of the year is high. At the end of the year, the actual seats that are allocated to the applicants is quite low. And number two, there is thousands of students completing these courses every year. So these seats do not cater for the number of students completing the course every year. Number of seats is too less compared to the number of students completing these courses every year. Now let us do a comparison of past year's invitations with current invitations. So if you look at 2018 to 2019 data, this is the number of invitations under subclass 189 every month. So the total number of invitations till the end of the year 2018-19 was around 23,000. But look what happened to those seats in the next financial year. Look at these number of seats every month, and the total allocated was only 7,720. A big reduction. If you look at 2020 to 2021, this year's data, in July only 500 invitations. In August, only 110 invitations. So you can be comparing July data for these 3 years, 1,000, 1,500, half. August, 2,419. Last year it was only 100 seats. This year, 110. So you can see that every year the seats are reducing. Last year, close to the quarter of seats that were actually allocated in 2018 and 19. And this year looks like it could be less. So the mistake that current students are doing, they are actually trying to follow the same pathway their past students have followed. So in 2018-19, there was 22,000 invitations. And in today's date, it's only 610 for 2 months. So you cannot compare yourself with the people who have passed the same courses 2 years back. You cannot follow the same pathway because the numbers have reduced drastically. So this is the Department of Home Affairs website where you can go and check the occupation ceilings. So this is for the current year, the number of seats allocated in different occupations. So here you can see the numbers are huge. So construction managers, and if you come to the accountants, 1,000 seats have been allocated. There's huge number of seats allocated, but by the end of the year, not even the half of the seats are actually given to the applicants. So you can clearly see on this website, they say that occupation ceiling values are based on a percentage of stock employment figures for each occupation. And these figures are provided by Australian Bureau of Statistics and represent the number of people employed in Australia in each occupation. Now let's go to the invitation rounds of August 2020. So here you can see only 110 seats were allocated under 189 and 90 seats were allocated under subclass 491 family sponsored visa. So here you can see that due to the high level of demand and keeping in with the previous program years, the below occupation groups will be subject to the pro rata arrangement. So what does it mean by pro rata arrangement? Pro rata arrangement is done when there is thousands of applicants applied in a particular occupation. What they do is they make a merit list of those applicants, and whoever has scored the most points gets the invite first. And that is why the accountants' points have gone so high up, and same for the engineering professionals. So now you must be thinking, then why don't I change my course straight away if it's not going to lead me to a PR pathway? Look, you must consider that when you should change your course. Are you able to change your course now or not? The reason is your student visa subclass 500 comes with the visa conditions. So this is the number of conditions attached to a student visa. In these conditions, condition 8202 is the one that stops you from changing your course. So what does it say? It says the visa holder must maintain enrollment in a registered course at the same level as or at a higher level than the course for which the visa was initially granted. So for example, if you were granted subclass 500 visa for a master's level course, you cannot go down to doing a diploma or certificate 3 or certificate 4. You cannot go down to doing a bachelor degree. You can change from a master degree to a master degree course. That is possible. Similarly, if your visa was granted for a bachelor level course, you cannot go down to a diploma or certificate 3 or 4 level course. You can change to another bachelor degree or you can change to a master level course. Now next question is, what is the use of completing a bachelor or master degree if you cannot get the PR through these courses? The advantages are, number 1, your student visa was granted based on selecting these courses. And as discussed in the beginning, you must satisfy GT criterion for the grant of the student visa. Most students do not satisfy GT criterion if they choose a diploma course or a trade course straight away when they lodge their visa from India. Number 2, you get 5 points of Australian study. So if you complete a bachelor degree or master degree, you will get 5 points. And after completing these degrees, you will get 2 years temporary resident visa subclass 485. And this is the time when you must be planning your PR. And most of the applicants waste their precious time in completing professional year program, even after knowing that they can't achieve the high points for their occupation. So this is the steps from student visa to PR. An immigrant come on subclass 500 visa, student visa. They complete their study and they get subclass 485 visa. After this visa, and if you plan properly, you should be able to apply one of these visas. Subclass 491, subclass 190 or subclass 189. Subclass 189 is the visa subclass where the points are very high now. And this is the subclass which is very hard to get. So now the students should be aiming at getting subclass 190 visa or subclass 491 visa. Subclass 190 visa is a PR, state-sponsored, state-nominated visa. Subclass 491 is a 5-year visa. It's a provisional visa. It is also a state-nominated visa, and it leads to PR under subclass 191. So again, you must have a positive skill assessment for the nominated occupation to lodge any of these 3 visas. Now the question again is, should you invest your time and money on professional year program? Look, the time required to complete a professional year program is 1 year. The cost of a professional year program could be between 5,000 to 10,000 or 12,000. But the most important thing is, after completing this professional year program, would you be able to achieve a point score of 95 or 105? If you can't achieve this point score, then why do you want to waste your time in professional year program, which takes up 1 year? This is the question that you should be asking to yourself before you start the professional year program. Is it worth doing professional year program? So this is the websites for the states and territories where you can go and check the requirements for subclass 491 or subclass 190 visas. Here are all the links. You can use these links and check what the states have on their list as the requirements that you need to satisfy to get a 491 or a 190 visa. So in the end, our advice is, do not follow the pathway of past students. The time was different then. The seats quota was different then compared to what we have now. So once you have completed your degree, or even before completing your degree, you must go to an expert and professional migration agent to plan your PR pathway. We have seen people suffering for 10 years, 12 years due to the bad guidance and improper planning. So we would ask you to invest your time and money intelligently. And in today's world, smart work will pay off, not the hard work. And before I go, I want to also bring this to your attention that due to COVID-19, there is no immigrants coming to the country. So it might be helpful to those who are currently in the country.